Welcome to our series on the Chief Justices of the United States. Salmon Portland Chase was the sixth Chief Justice of the United States after serving as Attorney General of fugitive slaves. Chase's career bridged politics, reform, and law, a staunch opponent of slavery, a trusted ally of President Abraham Lincoln, and a powerful figure during Reconstruction. Chase helped steer the court through one of the nation's most turbulent eras. Salmon P. Chase was born in 1808 in New Hampshire and grew up in modest circumstances. After studying law, he built a thriving practice in Cincinnati, Ohio, where he quickly gained a reputation as the Attorney General for fugitive slaves. Chase defended enslaved people and free black individuals sought in the web of the Fugitive Slave Act, even when such cases brought him little money and much political risk. His anti-slavery stance propelled him into politics. He helped organize the Liberty Party and later the Free Soil Party, both predecessors of the Republican Party. As governor of Ohio and later U.S. Senator, Chase became a leading critic of the expansion of slavery, particularly opposing the Kansas-Nebraska Act. When Abraham Lincoln was elected in 1860, Chase became a rival for the president. But Lincoln wisely brought Chase into his cabinet as Secretary of the Treasury. During the Civil War, Chase managed the enormous financial burden of the Union war effort. He introduced the first national paper currency, nicknamed greenbacks, and helped establish a national banking system. His reforms stabilized federal finances and gave the United States its first uniform money supply. Although often at odds with Lincoln and still ambitious for the presidency, Chase's financial leadership proved indispensable to the Union's survival. In 1864, when Chief Justice Roger Taney died, finally, Lincoln appointed Chase to lead the Supreme Court. This was a critical decision. Taney had authored the infamous Dred Scott decision, which denied citizenship to African Americans. By contrast, Chase was a lifelong abolitionist, chosen to guide the court during the upheaval of Reconstruction. Chase immediately brought dignity, independence, and a moral voice to the court. As Chief Justice, Chase presided over cases that defined the post-war Constitution. In Texas v. White in 1869, he wrote the majority opinion declaring that the Union was indestructible and that states could not unilaterally secede. This decision gave constitutional weight to the outcome of the Civil War. In the legal tender cases, Chase wrestled with his own legacy. As Treasury Secretary, he had championed paper money, but as Chief Justice, he initially ruled it unconstitutional. Later, in Knox v. Lee, the court reversed itself, affirming Congress's power to issue legal tender, a sign of how unsettled the financial foundations of Reconstruction remained. Chase also presided over the impeachment trial of President Andrew Johnson in 1868, acting as a fair and restrained figure. He maintained the court's neutrality and upheld the dignity of the judicial branch in the midst of political crisis. Chase served as Chief Justice until his death in 1873. Though sometimes overshadowed by John Marshall or Earl Warren, Chase's legacy is profound. He gave constitutional grounding to the permanence of the Union, defended civil rights, and helped transition the court from pro-slavery Taney era to the new realities of emancipation and Reconstruction. Chase's own life embodied the contradictions of the period. He fought slavery, but often hesitated to push too far ahead of public opinion. He was deeply ambitious, seeking the presidency even from the court, but still committed to the principle when history demanded it. In the end, Salmon P. Chase's tenure helped secure the idea that the Union could survive civil war, and that the Constitution must be interpreted in light of freedom and equality. His portrait today appears on the $10,000 bill, a fitting reminder of both his financial genius and his judicial statesmanship. Salmon P. Chase was more than a Chief Justice. He was a reformer, a statesman, and a jurist who steered the Supreme Court through America's second founding. He strengthened the Union, and, framing Reconstruction law, Chase ensured that the court remained a guardian of constitutional principle in the aftermath of the nation's greatest trial.